So a white man walked into a bar and said the N-word. I know it sounds like the beginning of a bad joke, but no, this really happened. A white man in Mississippi walks into a bar and apparently starts using the N-word all freely. The occupants of said bar did not take too kindly to his use of the word. And from what I hear, he was stripped naked and poppity. Well, they gave that man the business. In other news, I heard that the second plantation has now just caught fire and is burning to the ground. Oh no! Our history of torture and slavery and abuse and oppression. You know, I was talking to somebody about how, one of the main reasons why Trump made it into office is because the world is changing. The whole world is changing. Around the world, there's more liberal governments being elected all over the place. And Orange Face getting elected is essentially the hateful white supremacist, old school bigot types last reach at trying to keep things the same before they become irrelevant. I mean, they're already irrelevant, but like they're reaching for power. They're lashing out. They're acting up because they know that their time is up.
Because the energy came in all was very aggressive and very inappropriate. And so he did fuck around and find out that people are not going to be playing with you in 2025. So the authorities are investigating this as a hate crime. And they are looking to speak with the individuals involved. But as you all know of this fuck around find out season, start a GoFundMe challenge. We'll see what happens. But next time somebody tell you to leave because you coming in there using the N-word and you clearly use the ER because they advised you to leave several times. So you didn't come on there, oh, I just want to be friends energy. And they told you to go ahead and get out and you didn't. And they politely took you outside and advised you of how things were going to be going forward. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. I'm still waiting for them to update the charges that he will be having as well, because this was a charge for all involved. And that is that, and that is it.
The reason that racists are so emboldened right now is because nobody has had to swallow their teeth. That's what it is. So a friend of mine sent me this article today and I went to watch the news story. And yeah, first of all, I do not condone violence. This is for educational purposes only. But yeah, I think if we match energy, then we can kind of assist some of these racists. Because see, we watched as a racist literally crowdfunded almost $1 million for calling a little black boy who happened to have autism the N-word. She got $1 million, and we are getting everything in our lives defunded. We are getting civil rights taken. We are getting every civil liberty that we've applied for, that we have fought for. We're getting all of that taken, and she gets to raise $1 million. $6 at a time, $7, $10, because there's just so many of them. But yeah, this right here, I especially like the without clothes part. And here's the thing: he was so inebriated that his racism still kept coming through. He was literally being infringed upon on his body parts and still kept hurling slurs. So we can't save them all, but we could try.
According to multiple news sources, the man walked into the club and instead of simply having a drink or minding his business, he decided to use racial slurs, specifically the N-word, in a room full of black people. Now, let me just ask you, what exactly did he expect was going to happen? Applause? People inside asked him to leave. He refused. Witnesses say he was confrontational. He was instigating. This wasn't just a slip-up or a misunderstanding. He reportedly used racial slurs repeatedly. And when you walk into a black space with that kind of energy, it's not just offensive, it's threatening. Eventually, things escalated. He was attacked, stripped, and beaten by several individuals. Later, he reportedly waited 3 days before seeking medical attention. Now, the sheriff's department is investigating whether this attack could be considered a hate crime against him. Yes, you heard that right. Not against the man who used the slurs, but potentially against the black people who responded to it. This incident highlights something very painful and real. Black people are expected to show restraint in the face of racism. We are expected to calm when someone spits in our face, metaphorically and sometimes literally. But let's be honest, that's not always humanly possible. We carry generations of trauma. The N word is not just a word, it's a trigger. It carries the weight of slavery, lynching, segregation, police brutality, and modern day racism. It's a word that has been used to dehumanize, disrespect, and destroy Black lives for centuries. So when someone walks into a Black-owned or Black-centered space and uses that word loudly and proudly, they are invoking all of that pain. They are throwing gasoline on a fire.
The police are saying that that was the hate crime, not the white man going into a bar full of Black people belligerent, screaming the N-word. It was the Black people retaliating, beat that man out of his clothes. That was a hate crime. The police are saying when them Black people beat that man out of his clothes, after all them Black people got called the N-word, they saying that them beating him up is the hate crime. And they just completely negating that he came in there and was saying nigga, 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 like he Paul Mooney. Nigga, 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 nigga. And completely negating the fact that the people warned him after he said it a couple of times. And he stayed in there and kept saying it. What did that white man on that track boy say? The more you F around, the more you find out.
So, a little birdie told me that, I guess somebody thought it was a bright idea to go down to an establishment in Mississippi and say the N-word. So they stripped him down to his birthday suit and gave him his birthday punches with foreign objects. Hey, man, as it gets toward the summer, don't get bold now. Don't get bold. See, y'all think because he's president now, he gonna protect you. Look, man, he can't protect you from what you bought, which is common sense in this scenario. I don't know why y'all trying to say it like you're not gonna cry in the car if you make it to the car. And even if you manage to make it to the car, you may be crying in a very different ER than the one you tried to use. It's not a very hard concept. You know, just don't say it. And then nobody has to go and say, I see you in the ICU. Now, it must be a short memory, but 2 Klan members gone. Dude, ass beat. Who next?
And I know someone out there will say, well, violence isn't the answer. And trust me, I don't condone violence either. But let's not act like the situation wasn't provoked. Let's not ignore how often Black people are pushed to the edge and then punished for reacting. This is the danger of racist speech. It's not just offensive, it's provocative, it creates unsafe environments, and the law often protects the offender more than the people being offended. Now, let's look at the legal side of things. The sheriff's department is now considering whether this beating could be classified as hate crime against the white man. This is the part that feels like a slap in the face. Because how can a response to racism be labeled a hate crime? When hate started with his words, this raises a difficult question. Is there a legal limit to how Black people can defend themselves, not just physically but emotionally? Some people say the patrons went too far, that beating someone and stripping them crosses a line, and legally they are not wrong, but morally, emotionally, this was a reaction to disrespect and repeated provocation. And if we are going to call for accountability, we need to start with the person who walked in ready to ignite that fire. I'm not saying violence is justified, but we cannot keep demanding that Black people respond to centuries of abuse with politeness. We are not superheroes. We are not made of stone. And when the systems in place don't protect us, when reporting racism doesn't result in consequences, sometimes people feel like they have no choice but to act in the moment. It's also worth talking about how this story is being covered. Some headlines are already painting the man as a victim without including the context of his slurs. They'll say he was brutally attacked, but they won't say he was repeatedly racist. Why does the media always seem to sympathize with racists after they get a taste of consequences? Why are we so quick to ask whether the response was too extreme, but so slow to ask why the offense happened in the first place? This is what they mean when they say white privilege is not just about money or power. It's about being able to weaponize your presence in the Black spaces, say the worst possible things, and still be treated like the victim when it backfires. So what's the way forward? Because we don't want violence, we don't want chaos, but we also don't want to be silent in the face of racism. That means we need stronger systems. We need environments where hate speech is taken seriously, not brushed off, where Black people don't have to take matters into their own hands just to feel safe. We need education. So people, stop thinking the N-word is just a word. We need accountability. And so people who spread hate face real consequences. We need healing spaces where communities can grieve, express, and rebuild without fear. I really hope this incident sparks conversation, real conversation, not the kind that centers the feelings of the racist, but the kind that centers justice, dignity, healing, and safety for Black people. This wasn't just a bar fight. This was a boiling point. This was the result of unchecked racism and the pain it causes. The law will do what the law does. But as a society, we have to start asking deeper questions. Why are Black people still expected to swallow racism with a smile? Why are we still debating the use of the N-word in 2025? And why does standing up for yourself still come with the risk of being criminalized? If you've watched this far, thank you. I appreciate you taking your time to sit with this story and think critically about what it means for all of us. Whether you're Black, white, Latino, Asian, wherever you come from, if you believe in justice, this conversation is for you. Let's do better, let's be braver, and let's never let hate get unchecked. Well, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.